All right, so we are back, and today, finally, we're going to be doing the Predaking War. So, got the scoreboard out. What we're going to rate it on is the first column is the individual bots. You'll see that there's already numbers in there because those were from the individual reviews that I did throughout the past few months. So Mastermind Creation is in the lead already with 5 points because it won 5 out of the 5 videos. One of the videos actually was tied with TFC, so TFC also has a point going into this. Unique Toys does not have a point. And you'll notice I don't have the Predakings out at the moment, and the reason for that is that I wanted to take a look at the wings, sword, and gun first before we get into the actual big bots. So, and it's just easier to show off the wings without them being attached. So we'll start off with the Unique Toys wings. Now this is just an add-on kit essentially that came with the Razor Claw. Really nice big wings. This easily looks the best out of the 3 wings, just because of the fact that it doesn't have to integrate into Dive Bomb to make him look alright. Now, somebody mentioned on one of my other videos yesterday that you can add these little wings on with these little, just this little peg right here, plugs in right there, and you can do that. I showed this off when I first reviewed this figure that I don't recommend doing that, because when you put it in there, this black tab will just pull right out of the place that it's being held in. So I don't recommend doing that because you're going to do some damage to these wings. So yeah. Now for articulation on the wings, they do ratchet up and down. They move a little bit inward, not too far due to the connector ports here. So it only goes a little bit in. It goes pretty far back. And like I said, they ratchet all the way up, all the way down. This piece here is on its own ratchet, up and down. Each one of the feathers can move except for that top one there. And then these little claw things can rotate around if you want small claws or big claws. So however you want to have it posed. So, but yeah, like I said, this one looks the best because it's not hindered by being somebody else's backpack as well. It's just Predaking's backpack. I would have liked to see like a rotator in there to rotate the wings a little bit. It's not a break deal because Predaking always had his wings just kind of up like this. But it still would have been nice to have a little bit more there. So setting those off. Well, we'll do that at the end here. Now the TFC wings, also really nice big wingspan. I've pointed these things out a few times this week already. So, it's got a swivel right here on the inside, and then there's also a hinge so it can fold down and in to go to Dive Bomb. There is another ratcheted swivel right here. So there's that possibility, and then there is a swivel here and a swivel right here. The wings themselves can go up and down. Each one of these are on a 5mm port, so they can rotate, and they also have their own bend as well. So this is easily the most posable of the wing packs. It's not the most stable because of the 5mm ports, but it does give a little bit more playability in there to pose it and get different looks, you know, however you really want to do it. And it looks nice. It does really look nice. So we're going to pull this all the way out, like so. And then the last one is the Mastermind Creations wing pack. Now this one, you can see the backpack is about the same size as the TFC one. And the backpack on this one is a lot bigger. But again, this is also designed to go on dive bomb, and like I was saying, this is kind of hinders it a little bit. And more so right here, because this piece is really small in comparison to the other two. I mean, that is just tiny in comparison. And for posability, it does ratchet up and down. It's a soft ratchet. Folds all the way forward, folds all the way back. Again, I kind of wish there was a rotator in there, but there's not. A TFC has that one beat. The wing can bend in like this, and each one of the feathers is individually articulated. So they have a little bend in there as well, just like the Unique Toys one. And then for the wingspan, when they're fully stretched out, we get the measuring tape here. It's kind of hard to do this. My camera's way up just because of the fact that I know that we are going to be doing this video today. Alright. Let's see. Tip to tip, it is 18 inches. I know you can't see that because my thumb's covering it, but there we go. So it's about 18 inches. Tip to tip. Maybe 17 and a quarter or 3/4. Unique Toys is tip to tip about 18 and a quarter, so they're a little bit longer. And then the TFC one is just about 20. So if you're looking for the one with the biggest wingspan, TFC is the way to go. So all in all, they're all really good. This is the biggest, best wingspan. This is the more like just, it looks like Dive Bomb's backpack, only bigger, like a G1 Dive Bomb. So honestly, for me, I'm going to have to give it to the Unique Toys one. I think their wing pack is the best of the 3 wing packs. It just looks better. It may not be as big or as posable as TFC, but it's bigger than the Mastermind Creations one, and it just, like I said, it looks more like an upscaled version of Dive Bomb's wings. So, wings will go to Unique Toys. Sword. We're going to take a look at the swords. So here is Unique Toys Predaking sword. It is really, really nice sculpted. It is one piece, so it's not a bunch of different swords put together. It's just one big sword. It's really nice. The length of the sword from the tip of the blade to the end of the handle is 1 foot. It is exactly 1 foot long. So it's a really nice sword. I think it's very well detailed. And it just looks really good. I really wish I could give this to Mastermind Creations. TFC sword is a combination of the 5 different blades that came with the individual figures. And quite frankly, the sculpting on here is very minimal. It's very plain looking. Uh, it's mostly orange, as you can see with the little gold highlights in there. And I don't like it at all. I don't think this... I think this was a fail as far as the sword goes. Yes, it integrates, but it doesn't do it very well. It just... And the individual swords... Because there's two scimitars, one big sword, and then two pickaxes. Quite frankly, they're just in the level of, well, these things are just stupid looking. So they lose this round. Then length of this one is 11 inches. So it's an inch shorter than the Unique Toys one. And to show that off, you can see how much shorter. Yeah, it's thicker, but thicker is not always better when it comes to swords. I really like the look of this sword. Somebody posted online one time that they thought he was holding a surfboard. And that's kind of what I'm looking at here. It kind of looks like a surfboard. This definitely looks more like a nice one-handed sword for a big bot. And then there's this monstrosity. And this is definitely more of a two-handed sword for a big bot. This thing is just massive. It's kind of a silverish color with a hint of gold in there. So it's kind of it's gold, but not really that flashy type gold like this one. So it fits better with the Feral Rex design overall. And it is a combination of all the swords plus like kind of the chest throat piece of Razorclaw and Razorclaw's tail. I'm not the biggest fan of this sword just because of the fact that it looks... It's just too big, I think. And then if you have him hold it the wrong way, it does that, where it won't hold up. So you have to have it turned just this way. This is the only way he can hold it. But, it is a nice sword. I just think that there's too much going on with it. Again, it does win points because of the fact that it is all the individual swords put together. And we'll go more into weapons integration later on. That's going to be after we do the guns. I just want to show off these accessories before we get into the big bots. The blade itself is to the end of the handle, which is what I was measuring the rest of them on too, is just a hair... about 15.5 inches. So it is the biggest of the swords. If you go to the very bottom, you can see how much bigger it is than the Unique Toys one. It really depends on what your preference is when it comes to swords. If you're buying this whole set for swords, what's wrong with you? There's so many other factors, but this is just one factor in a lot. So... ultimately, I'm going to give a point to both Unique Toys because this sword really does shine. It's a very good sculpted sword. Looks wickedly badass. And this one's got just too much going on. But I give a point to it too because unlike TFC's sword, this is a combination of all the other swords that actually looks menacing and cool rather than a giant surfboard looking thing. This thing is just... this thing's stupid. This is almost like a play school style sword is what I'm looking at here. Something that would come with a play school figure. This is definitely more in a collector's piece type sword. So Mastermind Creations wins that one, and Unique Toys gets a point. Guns. This is the big cannon that fits onto the side of Predaking. So this is the Unique Toys one. It's a combination of all five guns, and it's okay. It's kind of small for that size of a bot. it is. Rotate the camera down. I mean, like I said, it is kind of small. It's okay, but it does hold together very well. We'll get into that more when we get to the Mastermind Creations one. But I mean, this is as big as it is. You can get a big bot like, for example, the TFC's Razor Claw, and he could hold this as a gun, and it wouldn't look too out of place. Hell, I could get this guy, and he could hold it. Not very well because these aren't 5mm ports, but somebody like him could hold it, and it doesn't look too out of place. So I don't think it's the right type of gun for the Predaking. Now we get into TFCs, where their gun is just one piece. It's not a bunch of individual guns. It's just one big gun. And this thing looks incredible. This is actually a very good giant blaster for Predaking. You can flip this down, and this turns into a handle that he can hold. And then you can also flip this piece down, and that's a 5mm port, which anybody with a 5mm hand can hold. And then he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different 5mm ports right here, and just this area that it can plug into. This is a bigger port than a 5mm port, and I'm not sure where that would plug into, but you could. And it looks like he's got two 5mm plugs here and here. So somebody could hold it like that too. It's a really nice gun, and it does have a light up feature. So yeah, it definitely tops the Unique Toys one. Mastermind Creations. It's another combination of all the guns. It does definitely pull it off a lot better than the Unique Toys ones. This one's clearly just silver and black. This one's got this gunmetal gray, which is really nice. It's really nice sculpted. It's a very nice design, but one of my biggest problems is I can't keep the guns plugged in. I plug it in, and it falls out. It looks really good. It's just not as functional, and it does, even though it's really nice sculpted, it does kind of look like a jumbled mess because it's just a bunch of guns plugged together. I'm not a huge fan of that when it comes to accessories like this. It's not my favorite. So this one, the TFC gun, is the one I'm going to say wins this round. It definitely looks the best. It functions the best because it's one piece. It doesn't come apart. And it's got so much playability. I mean, you could plug these tails into the side of the gun if you wanted to, even. I mean, I don't know why you would, but you could. You could plug... there's enough ports here. You could probably plug all the TFC guns into this gun. Or the MMC. I'm not going to do it because that's going to take a lot of time, and we've got bigger fish to fry here. But yeah, that's my vote. Is TFC wins the gun round. And I'm going to pause this for a second, put the wing packs back on to the Predakings, and we'll get into the actual Predakings themselves. Alright, so here are the three Predakings in their combined mode with the wings back on. I'm not going to add on the swords and stuff like that because we've already looked at them. I'll do it at the end, right before we do the durability test. Durability test is going to be the last test that we do. That's where I got to take it and shake the figure and see if anything falls off. And since my fixes on TFC guy this morning that I posted, I haven't had too many problems with getting him to stand. But we'll get into all of that when we get later on. So the other Other possible scores that we're going to go with is integration with all the weapons, scale, posability, style, G1, stability, durability. So the next one I want to go over is integration. How well does the figure integrate all the weapons and accessories that come with the individual figures? Now, we'll start with TFC. He does a pretty good job of integrating everything, with the exception of these two tails. These have to just kind of sit off to the side. I'm sure you can find a place to plug them in, but I mean, you really just kind of find a place to hide them is what you'd be doing. You know, all the swords plug in together, and then the cannon's one piece, and you know they can use the cannon in robot mode. It's a little big for them, but it can be done. So, but they do have the two tails that hold off to the side. Now, before we get into whether or not I'm going to give them a point, let's talk about Mastermind Creations, where every single part and piece has a place. There is no part that just sits on the side. There are these pieces. These are the completion kits. These are the wrist fillers for Bovis, Fortis, and Dive Bomb. Now, all of these you can plug in to plugs all over the body that you're supposed to. I didn't do it because I just wanted to show it off. Or I didn't really. I don't like them on there too much. You can just find places to hide them, basically. So all of these do have places. All of these swords have places. Even the tail and the chest piece of the lion have a place in the sword. All of the guns integrate into this gun. Yeah, it doesn't function very well because it falls apart. But that could just be mine. It's probably just mine because I haven't heard too many other people having that kind of issue. So he integrates every single piece perfectly. He integrates everything with the exception of these two pieces, and as long as you're okay with somebody having a really big gun. Unique toys. I'm not a huge. Yeah, you know, I'm okay with him being a parts former the way he is, but we're talking about the weapons integration. So all the guns do integrate into this rifle here. This sword does not integrate with anything other than the Predaking, so it just sits on the side when they're in robot or beast mode. Okay. Dive Bomb wings. If you're okay with the potential of ruining them, you can plug these on the back, so they do integrate in both robot, beast, and bot mode, but it's not worth it to me. So I'm going to count it as not integrating. Then we have all the swords that don't integrate. They're only used in the individual robot modes. They can't be used in anything else. The feet, the Predaking feet, they don't integrate with anything whatsoever. They can be used here, and they can be used as like bat cannons for Headstrong and Tantrum when they're in beast mode. The hands have absolutely no place to go outside of the combined mode. The wings have no place to go outside of combined mode. The head has no place to go outside of combined mode. The front chest piece here has no place to go outside of combined mode. Even the back piece and the side panels, no place to go. Honestly, he does not integrate well at all. So, I had to move the board out from behind just so I can have access to it. For integration, I'm going to give a point to Mastermind Creations because they integrate everything in so well. TFC, the two tails don't integrate, and the gun's kind of questionable, but For combinders, that's close enough. So I'm going to give him a point as well. Unique toys. Yeah. In combined mode, he's got so many parts that sit off to the side. And in the individual modes, he has so many combiner pieces that sit off to the side. So I'm actually not just going to not give him a point. I'm going to give him a negative point because he fails so utterly at integration. I think it pays off really well with the combined mode, but the integration, if that's a thing for you, then this is not the right figure for you because this thing does not integrate at all. Next thing we're going to do is scale. So let's get the scale comparisons going. Because everything else that we're going to be looking at, we're going to start pulling the figures apart. So I'm going to get all their accessories out of the way here. Aside from the important ones. There we go. Just gonna clean up the workstation here. And we're gonna move the sword out of the way. These things out of the way. And we're gonna start off with my typical scale. The Classic Seeker and the iGear Seeker. So here they are with the two Seekers. And quite frankly, I have to say, even though, he's about to, let's see. We're going to do the size here real quick. I know I'm kind of all over the place. I do have a bunch of figures that everybody wanted to see these guys with, so. To the head, not including the antenna, he is 13 inches tall. Mastermind Creations is, sorry if I'm getting in the way here. I'm having a hard time reading that from this angle. Move the camera a little bit. He is 13 inches tall. Now you can extend his legs to make him a little bit taller, but I think that starts questioning his stability. And he is about 13 and a half inches tall. So he's the tallest of the three, but he's got a lot of bulk to him, and so does he. He's more thin. So if you're going for a classics scale, Unique Toys is the best one for that. If you're going for the bigger classics, like the iGear guy here, I think these two work pretty well. Yeah, he's the same height as Mastermind Creations, but it just, because of his bulk, it doesn't quite fit with him. So if you're going with the smaller classics, then definitely he is the way to go. Truthfully, the only scale that truly works with these guys, just because of how big the combined modes are in the show, is Legends scale. And they work well with all Legends scale, because yeah, even there they might be a little too small, because Predaking was able to pick up 3 Transformers in his hands at the same time, so he can easily pick up 1, but I don't know how well he'd do 3. So there's Legends. Let's see here. Let's get a Masterpiece car in here. So here's Sideswipe. And again, I think he scales really well with the TFC and Mastermind Creations. Let's see here. We got Scourge here. We're going to do a big group shot here. him. Here is Springer. I know people wanted to see Orion. Classics Prime. Move this out a little bit further so you can see more. Alright. Nobody requested these two, but they're going to show up anyway. Here's Megatron. Galvatron. And here is Scoria. So, when it comes to Masterpiece scale with the Dinobots, this does not work. He's just way too... he's way too big and he's too scrawny. I don't like using the word scrawny because he's still pretty awesome. But he really just doesn't work. If we put him over here, between these two guys, this works a lot better. Again, even though Mastermind Creations isn't any taller really than Unique Toys, because there's so much more mass on both TFC and Mastermind Creation, it looks like it could fit into a Masterpiece style Dinobots. So there's that. Let me clear this all off. Because there's some other figures that was requested as well. Alright. Here he is with Metroplex, or Metroplex's waist. He's definitely the biggest figure on the table. And yeah, any one of them come up, they come up to about right here on him. So, I mean, not even to his hips. Upper thigh, I'd say. So, there's that. And then the last thing we'll show them off with is, well, not last. Still got a few more. Sorry, guys. I'm going. I think we all knew this was going to be a long video anyway, so. Here they are with Devastator. And so Devastator is about a head shorter than Mastermind Creations and the TFC, and about half. I don't get this at all. He's about the same height as Unique Toys, but Unique Toys comes in at 13 inches. You guys saw me do the measurements, 13 inches. But he definitely looks smaller than Mastermind Creations. And Mastermind Creations was also 13 inches. So I don't get why that's coming off there like that. But you know, whatever. But there he is with him. I think they all look pretty good with the Devastator there. And the very last one, somebody wanted me to show this off, was the Unique Toys Blot figure. And the reason for this is to show how far, as a company, Unique Toys has come. You know, these guys look good, but this guy definitely, style and design-wise, looks like he fits better with Mastermind Creations. So, alright. So, back to scale. Ultimately, he works well with the smaller classics and the Legends class figure. These two, because they're combined modes, honestly, they could work with the Legends and the classics as well. But they also look like they can fit in with the larger classics and the Masterpiece. He can't quite do the larger classics and the Masterpiece. So, but these two can easily. Any bigger than that, I don't think they would. But because of the fact that they can work with pretty much any scale they want to, they are each going to get a point. One for Mastermind Creations, one for TFC. Unique Toys, like I said, smaller classics and Legends definitely work better because of just how he's designed. Next we're going to go with G1. Which one looks the most G1 accurate? Well, right off the bat, we can rule TFC off that board. Because he's just got too much artistic decisions that were put into him that were a little bit different. Now, and I've said this before, when it comes to Unique Toys, he's the most cartoon accurate when he's in his combined mode. He looks like he jumped right off the screen. He looks very fluid as him. So he works really well. I don't know why his head looks yellow in this. I think it's my lights messing with him. There we go. And I'm zoomed all the way out, so you're not getting a very good detail video as normal. But he looks the most G1 accurate in combined mode. He looks really nice. I really like him. He just sells the G1 look better than TFC. Now, Mastermind Creations here, like I've said, is much more of an homage to the G1 toys because they're all about the same size. They're all pretty big and they're all pretty bulky, and they do all look really good together. But I guess it really depends on what G1 we're talking about. Are we talking G1 toys or G1 animation? I personally go by G1 animation. So for this round, I'm going to give it to Unique Toys. I think they do pull off the G1 style just a little bit better than Mastermind Creations. Now, when it comes to style, though, yeah, he's got great style. He looks good. I know a lot of people complain about the empty forearms and such. And he looks really great. Now, when it comes to straight up style, though, he's got different artistic decisions with like the wings being black with gold highlights inside. More rounded look, and he just looks... you know, the dual thumbs, it looks really nice. And then the Mastermind Creation one, again, he's got the best sculpting of the three. He's got the most detail. He's got a lot of style too. And again, you know, if you picture these as like updates to the G1 characters in the Beast Wars era, he even screams more style. So I'm going to give the point to TFC and Mastermind Creations for having the best style. I'm not saying Unique Toys doesn't have a good style to them. I just think these guys pull it off a little bit better. So style goes Mastermind Creations and TFC. And then stability. This is where we get into a little more irritating things. And stability and durability. Now, we'll pull him out. Right now, he's standing pretty good, so he's got some good stability going. But if you look at him, he's actually leaning quite a bit forward. And if we try and lean him back, his knees kind of give out, and he falls backwards. And then the wings start messing up. Wings come off. There's definitely some issues going on here with stability and durability. The feet are compromised because of the fact that they're designed to come apart. I don't like that. Why is this not plugging in? There we go. And he just kind of feels a little rickety. I'm not a huge fan of the way he's designed. Now, Mastermind Creations, I mean, he just, when you put him down, he just thuds down. Because he's got the most bulk and weight. His ankles are not very stable. They're on those ball joints I've been bitching about. Yeah, I'm going to show you guys how to tighten the ball joints at some point. But it is very unfortunate. Now you can flip these little black tabs up in the feet. If you flip those up, that does help balance him. And now he's a lot more stable. So he's got a fix worked into him for his stability. Now, then we get into this guy. Here are the big issues with him when it comes to stability and durability. Mostly the feet. They are really loose. This one's locking in, but if it's not all the way locked in, it just flops. The legs have no friction to them whatsoever. They're just, I mean, they're just crazy loose. It's very unfortunate because if they made those a little bit tighter, they'd be really good. Because the legs aren't very stable and the feet aren't very stable, it makes them hard to pose. You can try, but as soon as it gets to a certain point, it just starts giving out on its own weight. And he's not a very heavy figure. So I'm very glad that they made him a lot lighter than the other two, so that he can at least stand straight. Once you get past that, he's not very good. So for stability, I'm going to give the point to I'm going to give the point to Mastermind Creations. Just because he's got a fix worked into him already. So it's pretty clear that they kind of knew what the situation was going to be like, and they worked out a fix. I still wish that they had feet. Somebody did feet replacements for him that were on big, thick ratchets. I think that would be really awesome. Let's talk posability here. We'll start with Mastermind Creations. His head is on a ball joint. It gets a little hindered by things around him. The guns can rotate back, and they also rotate up and down. They do extend, which is nice. Arms can ratchet up. We're not going to talk about the wings because we already gave points to the wings. So they ratchet up and down, in and out. They swivel at the bicep. They do have that bend in the elbow, which I improved on because of the that fix I showed off. The waist swivels. It's a tighter waist than his. Hips can go up and down. There's this bicep swivel, thigh swivel. Bends at the knee, not very far because of kibble. Foot can get, it's on a ball joint, but if you have those little black tabs, they pretty much just stay in place. So yeah, he's decently posable for a combiner. And then the hands, thumb's ball joint. There's a hinge on the thumb, and each one of the fingers has 2 points of posability with a hinge. Now we get into him. Head is on a ball joint, so it gets good range of motion. He's got the ratcheted up and down on the shoulder, in and out. Bends at the elbow. He's got a better bend than he does. Hands rotate. The fingers have 1, 2, 3 hinges on them. Thumbs, it's got 2 thumbs on each hand. Thumbs are on ball joints, and it's got 2 hinges on those. He's got that really loose waist swivel, which I don't like. See, this is why I wanted to wait till now to do these, because they're starting to come apart because I'm moving them too much. But that's just combiners. Legs can rotate up a little bit, rotate back, in and out. There's a swivel at the thigh, or right above the knee. He bends at the knee, but it's so tight that it kind of comes apart, as you can see. But with a little care, you can get it right. So I'm not going to fault it for that. It still counts as a posability. Feet are on those ratchets side to side. They can rock a little bit forward and back, but then you can see parts are coming off of him while I'm trying to do this. And that's just because of the design of those feet. Again, this is why he didn't win stability. He's not a stable figure, in truth. Alright. Okay, now. Neat Toys. Head is on it's got a swivel and it's got a hinge. So it works just the same as a ball joint. Full range of motion there, no hindrance whatsoever. Arms, they've got 2 different ratchets, one before the gun and one after the gun. Now the guns don't have to be in between the shoulders, they can be on the backpack if you want. They swivel in and out. He's got a bicep swivel, full bend elbow because of the knees there. Hand swivels. It's on a ball joint, so you can get in and out as well, which is more than either one of the other 2 can do. Thumb is on a swivel in and out, and he's got 2 points of articulation on the thumb itself. So 3 altogether on the thumb. Ball joints on all the fingers, and each one of the finger has 2 more points of articulation. So 3 points of articulation on the hands are on the fingers, one of which being a ball joint. He does not have a waist swivel. The legs can go up and back pretty far. You run the risk of things coming apart, but that's all 3 of them. He's got the swivel at the thigh, which is really too loose. Bends at the knee. He can rotate at the knee. The feet have that good bend. Toes bend all the way around. They're independently posed. And then the heel can bend as well. So honestly, with the posability factor, mostly because of the fact that this guy cheats a lot. But hey, this is a no holds barred fight. They can cheat as much as they want as long as they get what they needed to. Unique toys, I'm going to give the posability score to. So, last thing we're going to do is the durability test. So before we do that, we're going to get we're going to kind of fix them up a little bit and get their weapons on. Because the weapons do count towards this. So, let's put that in. Close the hand up. There we have him. Plug that in. And plug in the sword. And the sword is just so heavy that he's kind of losing it. And we'll plug in his weapons. Alright. I'm a little nervous here. Hopefully nothing comes off and breaks. So we'll start with unique toys here. We take him and we're just going to... And the one who loses the most pieces loses. Okay. Alright, so he's a little shooken up. And he lost 2 pieces, those being his accessories. Alright, TFC. Here we go. Okay, we're done. Alright, so he lost... Let's set him down. He lost a hand, the sword, the gun, the nose piece to Bovis, or the nose piece to the bull, wing, foot. Actually, the leg actually stayed together. I'm really impressed with that. It's working fine now. But the foot came off, and so did the toe from the foot. And this is one I'm really dreading doing. Because because everything's sharp and pointy on him. Here we go. All right. A little fixing, and he can still stand. And he lost his sword, which, again, is not too surprising. He lost the wing pack. And one gun off the off his cannon. I knew that gun was going to come out. I knew it. And they all need a little bit fixing. So he lost 3 pieces. He lost 2 pieces. He lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces. So honestly, I'm going to give a point for durability to both Mastermind Creations and Unique Toys, because I think losing your swords and stuff is fine. The backpack I wish the backpack would plug in a little bit better, and that little gun, it was flawed design to begin with. But all in all, he did hold up pretty well, and Unique Toys did pretty well. His waist piece, because I was holding it, started giving out too, but I stopped before it fell off, just because I was done shaking him. I shook him more violently and longer than the other two, by far. So Unique Toys will win durability test, and Mastermind Creations does. So, total score. Here it is, the final score. This is it. We've got Mastermind Creations coming in at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 points. TFC's coming in at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. And Unique Toys has 1, 2, 4, 5 points, but it also has a -4. So, all in all, the winner is Mastermind Creations, the Feral Rex. According to my charts... So, according to my charts and months of working on this, finally to come down to the point that Mastermind Creations is the better Predaking. Individual bots are better. The sword is pretty good. The best integration. He works well with scale. He's a very durable figure. He's got a good style to him, and he's very stable. TFC came in at 5 points. Individual bots, I think it was Rampage that worked the best. No, it was the Headstrong. Or Tantrum, maybe. Tantrum, I think it was. Anyway, one of the individual bots is pretty solid. The gun is the best of the set. He does work pretty good with integration. He does scale very well. And he does have a really good style. But again, if you are in more of that Beast Wars look. Unique Toys is good because it's got the better wing pack. And it's got the better sword. But those, again, you have to be good with it because he has the worst weapons integration of all the sets put together. You could put the lack of integration of Mastermind Creations and and TFC together, and he still would beat it. He is the most posable, so if you're looking for something really posable, he's the way to go. He's very durable. Very durable. You saw how violently I shook that thing. And he's got the most G1 cartoon accurate figure. He is not very stable, and he doesn't have a whole lot of style. His scale only works with the smaller figures, and his guns are meh. And the individual bots, you do kind of have to take away, walk away from them because they're not the best. So, all in all, like I said, the best of the Predakings has been named. The king of the Predakings, Mastermind Creations. In my opinion. This is all in my opinion. I have the Grimlock, the MP Grimlock crown. I'm going to see if I can get it on his head. There we go. It doesn't fit very well, but it sits on there. So he works the best. He's got a little battle damage going right now. But yeah, he is the best of the Predakings. Highly recommend. I recommend all the sets, honestly. After everyone told me how to fix the TFC guy, he does hold pretty well. But if you're looking for just all around the best of the three, Mastermind Creations really is the best of the three. Followed by TFC and then Unique Toys. And that's me trying to be as unbiased as possible, because honestly, I think the Unique Toys Predaking looks the best just right off the bat. I think he looks the best, but he still didn't win. So, unfortunately, the third place Predaking, the lowest one, he's still standing though. But the second place one is in pieces on the floor. I can't keep them together. He's not a very durable figure. So yeah, there you go. I hope you enjoyed this whole thing. It did set me back quite a bit of money to do this. But I really wanted to see which one was the best of the three. So again, I hope you enjoyed this. It was a lot of fun to do. I don't know if I'll be doing this many comparisons again in a row. Doing 3 different sets of figures. That being said, I've already got a buyer lined up for TFC. I had a buyer for Unique Toys, and then I had another buyer who put in a higher bid, and then so I contacted the first guy and told him that the deal was off. He was offering me an MP10. I do have an MP10 on the way now. And then the guy that offered me more, he fell out. So if anybody is looking for a Unique Toys Predaking, if you're in the US, I would say $200 shipped. Outside of the US, we'll have to work out a price because of the international shipping. But if anybody's looking for it, $200 shipped, or I do a good trade, let me know if there's anything you want to trade. So he's up for grabs. Mastermind Creation's staying. TFC's already he already has a home. So again, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I covered everything you guys wanted me to cover. We did lots of size comparisons. We did point system. We did charts. We did measurements. I don't know where else to go from here except for Mastermind Creations is finally going to get put back together, and he's going to be put on my shelf, and he's going to relax because he's won the war, and there's nothing else for him to do for a while until Skylink shows up.